everyone. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for having us, and I really appreciate the time and opportunity given to us to present today. We are Firebond, growth and analytics infrastructure for Web3 games. Right. We aim to be the leading provider of gaming analytics and growth infrastructure, enabling Web3 game developers to scale efficiently. Uh, we are back. We are two people who are very experienced in the space, but more importantly, we are avid gamers, love the gaming space a lot, have been gaming since 12 years old. I've been part of Cake Defy's leadership team, where they're more like a C5 platform. I also built India's first ever online esports coaching platform. Adara has worked on platforms you guys mentioned, Zili, which was Crew 3. He was a lead staff software engineer there and brings immense experience to the platform they were building. I liked a bit of the conversation that went on earlier because we have built a solution that is kind of countering against existing solutions like Zili or Galaxy, and happy to show you more. Uh, but before that, here's the problem that we're looking at, right? So gaming studios pay about $26.7 billion per year for user acquisition. It's a lot of money. And the three problems that revolves in the Web3 gaming space right now. There's lack of infrastructure and tools. Current solutions are too complex and expensive. Acquisition and retention is a massive challenge. Every space within the Web3 space is having the same problem. So gaming is not new. It's also facing the same challenge. We believe a new data stack is needed for Web3 games, a data stack that includes social data, product insights, and on-chain data. To give you a bit more insight into the space, $3 billion have been invested into Web3 games just in 2022, right? This is our solution here, the growth engine for Web3 games. Firebond is an all-in-one analytics and growth marketing platform designed to enable Web3 games to optimize player engagement, retention, and revenue generation. We leverage on the do-to-earn model. So you have an inbuilt mission platform. Then you could create your own campaigns. For example, like writing a Twitter thread, designing a pitch for a project, creating cool designs for the project. You could ask them for some feedback on a gaming tutorial, ask them to try something out, and you could reward them. But that is not really the highlight of the Firebond's platform only, because a lot of the other players provide that. We go a step further to provide in-depth game analytics. And a lot of Web3 game studios right now or game developers can't afford the analytics solutions out there. We provide off-chain, on-chain, and product analytics with the solution as of today on Firebond. I'll just backtrack a bit. I forgot to mention the customer acquisition cost is reduced by 50% with the implementation of Firebond. So we're helping companies save money, and we're giving them data to make better insights and grow their families a lot better in the gaming space. You could just happy to share a bit more of the market data. 80% of the Web3 gamers will come from Asia. I'm going to share a little quote by Trip Hawkins, the founder and first CEO of EA. I'm confident that within a decade, Web3 games will be a bigger deal than console or mobile than ever been. We at Firebond truly believe that that's exactly right. The 3 billion gamers globally is a $200 billion total addressable market. $3.3 billion have been raised for Web3 games in 2021, 400 million raised in 2022. The first quarter of 2022. 7 hours of average player spent gaming weekly, right? And the biggest market in Asia region, if you are Korea, Philippines, and Vietnam, from the data that we have checked out. We aim to acquire 10% market share in 5 years. We took a bottom-up approach. So we looked at the total addressable market as the total number of mobile and PC games in the world times a yearly subscription fee, which we see about somewhere around 3K to 5K. Service addressable market, the total number of games in Asia times the yearly subscription fee, which is about 50% of that. And the market that we can obtain is a 10% ARR market share of that. And that gives us $725 million. Again, this is more of a prediction, a conservative number, because we believe that we'll be able to scale up to more services for the same type of customers and be able to acquire a larger market share. Our revenue potential in the second year, we aim to get $1 million ARR based on at least 55 games. For small communities, we're charging $750 a month. And for large communities, the price per request. The numbers are not extremely huge, only because existing Web2 players who provide analytics solutions are charging anywhere between like 50K to 100K right now for games to even utilize their analytics solutions. We have secured 4 gaming studios, including a publicly listed ones. Along with that, we have 100K members in beta, who's part of the gaming studios, and 500,000 members in the pipeline. We are also partnering with Web3 game launchpads. Now, these members is very vital to our mode, as essentially we are providing a data analytics solution that is going to be constantly improving. And with the amount of data that's going to flow through our platform, we see a very effective solution that we'll be able to capture a decent market share right now. We continuously build. In Q2, we have released our platform. In the next quarter, we're going to be expanding the team. We're going to be doing a bit more product development with pilot enterprise customers. We're going to build out product analytics and on-chain analytics. We want to touch a bit on the fraud prevention through generative AI. 50% of the gamers right now are botted, and we hope to change that at a much later stage. We want to expand partnerships with additional blockchain networks for broader multi-chain compatibility. Right now, we're specifically looking at Polygon. We are looking at a bit of the Move language, so Aptos and Sweet networks are within our vision right now. We do what others don't cheaper. So if you look at Amplitude, Zili, or Layer 3, they have either the engagement solution or they don't have the analytics, or they have the analytics and then they don't have the engagement. So for Amplitude, they're quite nascent in the on-chain data space. So that's why they are marked across on a unified analytics space. And most of the Web3 games that we are specifically targeting have a higher need for on-chain analytics. Firebond provides engagement quests which can build out directly from our platform versus these direct platforms which tend to attract more bounty hunters versus more authentic customers. We do unified analytics. We have an SDK availability, and we are working towards a fraud prevention right now. 10 games to be onboarded by the end of 2023. We're going to leverage our network from our existing previous experience, strategic partnerships with Web3 and Web2 publishers, including launchpads. We have 4 partners in beta, enterprise customers with a target 1 million ARR in 2024. We're also doing a lot of community building. I personally speak at a lot of events that are either in Korea, Singapore, or Malaysia. We do Twitter Spaces weekly and bi-weekly. We try to put out more content to build more thought leadership, to get more conversations around in the gaming analytics space. Thank you so much. Right, and that's Firebond.
Perfect. Thank you, Ganesh. All right, and go directly to the Q&A.
Ganesh, thanks for the presentation. Can you give us just a real life example of, let's say, the mission and how it works? For example, I'm a game, and we have a few games, a few Web3 games. We have communities in Discord connected with these games. We have like the gaming process with wallets and things like that. So if I join Firebond, what is your offer actually for $750 per month?
Yep. So here's the beauty of it. These are the 3 missions that we have created. And personally, I've run a lot of these missions from various platforms, and I've participated in those. I feel some of the missions does not add great value to the platform. Like those social missions where they ask you to like or follow something, you just click it, and they don't really kind of engage with the community. So the first mission we look at is more like a referral mission, where you could get the gamers who already participated in your ecosystem to refer them. We have a leaderboard system that tracks it, and they get automated rewards paid out to that. So that's one form of mission you could do to get someone to download or play or participate in your game. The second, you could get a feedback mission. So right now you have like a different gameplay they're releasing, you have a tutorial video that you're releasing. You could plug it out right there, get feedback on that with a set of questions, and get them to have insights. So this way you get to reduce your churn rate, because if the feedback is that, oh, this tutorial is not that good, it's pretty sucky, right? Like then you could change it out immediately and then release it out later. And we see a lot of ways that you could potentially use the feedback mission as well. And then we also have a quiz mission. So you want people to know your game and understand your game. So the best way is let them have a walkthrough of the gameplay, maybe read your white paper, and then answer a few questions and get rewarded for it. So these are the type of missions you can do, but we are also working on like further missions as we go along.
So there's basically kind of, I would say kind of a Zili integrated into Discord, and you use those endpoints to integrate into your product. So there's like interactive quests, but the quests are pretty much the same. They are outside the game.
Yeah, right? So I guess, okay, one way we have to maybe think about it from the start is Zili, Galaxy, and most of the quest platforms, they take a consumer-facing model, right? So it's a B2C model, outright. Customers can see the quest, like they could see multiple type of quests from different organizations. But whereas for Firebond, these quests are created by the community managers or growth managers and shared on their socials. So it's not something where people could just randomly discover the campaigns. And we believe this currently adds more value from testing is because the people that engage with it or are sharing the quest or participating in the quest are people you have collected, and they are also bringing on people that they are trusting, right? So if let's say a gamer is bringing on another gamer, that's how, I mean, I took part in a lot of games because my friend was playing it. He told me to take part in another game, and I saw it. It's not, I don't see a point. I mean, at least with the gaming space, I don't see how people would go to a Crew3 platform and say, yeah, that's a nice game, I'm going to play it now, and then be an engaged user on it, right? That's why I kind of see the difference. But our mode over here is really more on the analytics front, because right now Web3 games require that to have user acquisition, right? And most of the existing solutions are just too expensive. So we have analytics and engagement tagged on together as a one shop fits all, and that makes us have an immense value right now in the space.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, I'm happy to go next. Yeah, the same. We have maybe 5 games in a portfolio, so I had the same question. What can be offered? So it would be interesting to get a proposal. Happy to distribute with the teams and to see how they react. So yeah, I don't think I have many questions. I think the pitch deck kind of confused me a bit between analytics and growth. Is it just that analytics are empowering for you to grow, or you provide any other growth channels? So are you also have like a community? Are you also kind of almost working as a publisher? So when I was listening to a pitch, I was really confused. I understand the analytics part, very clear. I see, 5 players play, these don't play, blah, blah, blah. I'm interested to see how, because we actually had a board meeting with one of the games earlier today, and they also said, we just onboarded 300 users, they played X amount of time, all that kind of stuff. So it will be interesting to see what's the value you guys provide versus the data they can collect themselves, I guess, in a hacked analytics. And then, the growth part. So is it just that your analytics empower better growth because you can make smarter decisions, or is there any other growth channels you guys provide? Like you have your own big community, you have your guild, you have your whatever, I don't know. So if you can just elaborate on that, I think that's interesting, because I think growth is one of the Achilles of all the games in today's environment.
I understand. Absolutely. Right. So okay, let's do this. I'll tackle the analytics one first. So I think a lot of people, especially with on-chain data, most of them are just public. So you can capture the data. That's not where the magic happens. The magic is kind of when you have that data and you're able to pull actionable insights from it and give suggestions on what is happening in that ecosystem is where we come in and provide that value. If you just look at most of the platforms out there, they provide on-chain analytics, but they're not focused for Web3 games. So if you look at Web2 solutions like maybe Amplitude, who does product analytics, events tracking, so knowing exactly when the gamer drops off is something that we provide as a value on the platform. And that's based on a lot of the conversations we've had. Like that's most of their most immediate need. Like they want to understand their users before even growing, because if they don't understand who's the type of users they're getting, then they can't really scale it up, right? So that's the kind of the primary challenge they have. But the growth side is mainly on the engagement of the quest that we have built. So the referral quest is purely a user acquisition channel that has reduced CAC costs significantly. We have the feedback and the quiz sessions, which engages with the gamers, which is very much into the Web3 ethos of building with the community that you're part of. So this helps them create a strong brand presence and eventually grow from there. But we are also looking at the different type of quests that we could create on the platform as we go along. But we'll flow with what the market is asking based on that. Because the type of quest that used to work 2 years ago is just not working anymore. Like Gleam used to create like clickable campaigns, and a lot of people used to be so hungry for it. Right now, that doesn't really work, So I guess we just have to really follow with the market. That's how I see it.